Hello YouTube and welcome to another toy review. This time I'm showing you my Marvel Legends Lord Thor figure. This is from the second series of Marvel Legends, right after Hasbro took it over from Toy Biz. And as most of the fans of this line probably know, this is the time when the figures started to kind of suck. When this figure was first announced, I was very excited for it. I really liked the sculpt and I really wanted to have a Lord Thor figure because that era in the comic books at the end of the 90s was basically one of my favorite era when it comes to Thor comics. So I was pretty excited for this figure, and the prototypes that were shown back then, I will try to find some photos of them, but they looked really nice, and the paint job was awesome and amazing. After the figure came out, it turned out that the paint job was kind of sucky. The whole figure looked like it was meant to be a Happy Meal toy or something like that. It had the basic blue color of the plastic. No gold was used on it, only kind of a yellow plastic. No details were painted whatsoever, or very few details on him, and it was a huge disappointment when it came out, but still I really liked the sculpt, so I bought the figure anyway and repainted it to look more like the prototype did on those photos. So this is a review of my repainted Lord Thor figure. I will just show you the details on him and tell you a little bit more about the figure. It basically has the same articulation all of the Marvel Legends figures have. This was the point when they stopped putting double jointed elbows, and some people complained about it, that Hasbro is being worse than Toy Biz was in this sense too, not just the overall quality and the lack of painting, but to tell you the truth, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, this elbow is perfectly fine the way it is. It's quite tight, it holds well, and it's nice. My only problem with posability is basically the position of the head, because the hair is molded like this, and because it's over the cape, you can't really position the head in any other position, just this downward looking position, and this is kind of not nice. So you can put him in good poses if you're playing a bit with this kind of chest articulation, but still most of the time he's looking down and you can't really help it. If you remove the cape, which is removable, then it's a bit better, but I kind of like the cape, so I like to keep it on him. And even if you remove it, well, if you remove it, you can move the head up perfectly fine. You can't really turn it, but it moves up and down quite nicely. So I didn't really play with the paint job on the face. I only added a little shading to the beard and to the hair, as you can see, but that's all I did. I quite like this face and like the helmet too, so I left it unaltered. I added some silverish highlights to these shoulder pads and also to the chainmail armor, which looked very stupid in the plain blue version that it came, and I think it's rather nice. It wasn't as difficult as you might think. You just needed to lightly brush through the scales of the armor, and it gave the whole thing to this this kind of chainmail look, which looks really nice. I added some gold to the belt and some silver to the tee, and I added some dark blue to get this kind of leathery look for the pants, which were also the same color as the armor, and just this light blue as you saw on the pictures. I added some gold for these stripes, and of course for the boots too, and some brown for the in-between areas between the gold. Also needed to add some darker blue highlights for these hand gears here, and I played some with the hammer to give it kind of a silverish look, and also darker highlights too, because the hammer also looked just plain grey with basically like a piece of Happy Meal toy. So that's all I did really, and it wasn't as difficult as it might look like. It's quite easy to make, and I think it makes your figure just more beautiful and just more outstanding. It makes a really crappy figure into something very awesome, and if you're into this stuff, I recommend you to repaint it, because you basically only need dark blue, gold and silver. You can buy these at any model store or any toy store that sells model kits. I did some highlights on the cape, on this fur area of the cape. I used some light brown and some darker brown, but I didn't really alter the original red color, so this is basically the original color. As you can see, the cape attaches via these pegs right there, and to tell you the truth, it doesn't really hold that much, so yeah, it stays on, but you shouldn't really move your figure around, because then it will just fall off. Well, I used Revel paints. This is the gold one that I have. I think the Revel paints are really good quality paints that you can use easily, and they dry moderately quickly. And now I just want to quickly show how Thor looks in my collection. As you can see, he has the top position, and as you can also see, my superhero shelf is not that big, so they are kind of cramped up there. But still, I like to portray my Lord Thor figure as some kind of ruler, because I really like it, and I think it looks very nice in that position. So, well, this was my review of this Lord Thor figure. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because I'm going to do some more reviews pretty soon. Take care, and bye bye.